Welcome to Teide National Park in Tenerife. When you think active volcano, you might think lava and explosions and earthquakes, but this is what an active volcano is like. At 3,715 meters, El Teide is the highest point in Spain.
For you Americans out there, that's over 12,000 feet tall. And this is the highest elevation we've ever been in. This is also one of the best places in the world to look at stars. Right behind me is a world-famous observatory. Quick disclaimer, we didn't actually know how to pronounce Teide until a bit into our drive up the park. So in this video, you're gonna hear us call it Teide. To prepare us for this big adventure, we're gonna go to Teide National Park and kind of get the lay of the land. Let's get to it. We're staying in Adeje, which is the resort area on the south of Tenerife, and we need to get to La Laguna so that we can drive through the park from the north to the south.
There are multiple routes you can take to drive into Teide National Park. I also wanted to take the route from the north to the south so that we'd be seeing pretty much the entire park on this journey. We're not quite in the park yet, but we did stop at the first viewpoint that we saw.
It's really nice to go out in nature, especially since we've just been going from city to city to city. In the last 2 years, we have not spent this much time in cities before, so it's nice to explore the great outdoors. It's a lot quieter. It smells like pine and trees and air. It's nice. So I love that we're going on this adventure because it brings us back to what we love, nature.
That's it. That is our first view of El Teide, and it truly just takes up the entire sky.
Right there, you can see that we are above the clouds. How cool is that?
This is really cool.
One of the main reasons we're here today is to prepare ourselves for the hike tomorrow and get used to the elevation. So I'm trying to take deep breaths. It's not like we haven't hiked in elevation before, but recently we've only been at sea level, and this is definitely a big change from the last 2 months for us.
This is just the first pull-off. First of many. Megan and I have been close to 30 national parks between the US and Canada, and if there's one thing that we've learned, it's to always stop and enjoy the viewpoints as you're driving through any of these national parks.
We're at the Mirador de Chapinque, and oh my gosh, you're gonna freak out.
You're gonna definitely freak out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Matt, where did you take me to? This place is amazing.
When I was researching things to do in this national park, I just literally started favoriting every single viewpoint, or Mirador as they're called in Spain, and they do not disappoint. It's worth coming to every single one because you get amazing views like this. I think when a lot of people think of Tenerife, they might be just thinking of the south, and that's what they want to go see. They want to go hang out at the resorts. But there's truly so much more to do on this island. Like, come here. Oh my God, look at the lizard.
Wow, I've never seen a lizard like that. It's moving like super smoothly.
I believe that's a Canary Island lizard or a Canary Island sink.
Over on the left side, you're seeing the volcano and a blanket of clouds that looks so cuddly and cozy. And on the right side, you're seeing a little bit of town, and we are so high up. I was like a little nauseous on the way up. I didn't tell Matt, but I guess I'm telling him right now. I'm glad that we're stopping so I can just like take deep breaths.
So we just asked somebody here who's from the island, and he said it's pronounced Teide. So this is El Teide, the largest volcano on the island, the highest point in Spain. With some fun facts, this might be one of the tallest islands in all of the Atlantic.
Teide. I gotta practice that because sometimes if someone local doesn't pronounce it for us, we have no idea how to pronounce words.
Teide.
Teide.
Teide. Teide.
Teide.
Teide. Bienvenidos al Parque Nacional de Teide. After about 30 minutes of driving and stopping at every possible viewpoint, we are finally at the entrance to Teide National Park. Let's go check it out. This is the Mirador La Tarta, which means cake in Spanish, and you can see the way it got its name because it looks just like layers of cake.
white flowers are white broom, and it smells like jasmine, so potent, and when the wind blows, it smells like a freaking candle store. But not like a combination of smells, just the one smell.
This is really cool. This is a beautiful view, guys. Without a doubt, we are coming back to this park for nighttime to get some amazing astrophotography because this sky is so wide open. We're above the clouds, and I believe we're also above the marine layer. We're at the section of the park that looks like it's completely from another planet, like we're on Mars or the moon or something. To think that a volcano is the cause of all of this landscape is truly mind-blowing. It's definitely something that I'm having a hard time putting into words, but I think it's something that everybody should probably come and see for themselves. But these mountain landscapes, if you've ever been to the US, it reminds me of something like Arizona and Utah just combined into one. These huge carved canyons, these massive walls, these ginormous rocks. This might be the coolest part of the park that we've seen so far. There's just this massive gorge just filled with just nothing. It's a huge canyon on one side, small canyon on the other side, and honestly, if I could hike every single trail in this entire park, I probably would.
It wasn't long until we realized that it was already 7 o'clock. So we drove all the way back to our hotel in Odehi. We're gonna go downstairs to the hotel restaurant to enjoy the sunset and get something really big, hearty, and healthy to eat before we have to wake up super early tomorrow and climb up that mountain. It's gonna be a day. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 o'clock in the morning.
I am absolutely pumped for this hike.
This is gonna be such a cool experience and the highest elevation hike we have ever done.
There's a few different ways that you can get to the top of El Teide. The first is to hike up to the top. The second is to take the cable car up and then hike from the top of the cable car up to the peak.
Truthfully, it's only a half mile, but I think it's gonna be the hardest half mile of my life.
The thing that you need is a permit, and they sell out months in advance, and we weren't able to secure one in time, so we had to book through a tour guide.
But to get me going, I'm gonna need coffee, and a lot of it.
Here are the things that we need to bring with us. Passports or some kind of ID, because they do check at the top. Definitely water, definitely some snacks, sunscreen. All right, Megan, it is time to go. Want to go hike the tallest mountain in Spain?
Yeah.
Let's go. It's time to get picked up. One thing that I'm really stoked about is that they're picking us up, so we don't have to worry about driving to the park, getting there at a certain time, because with all the mountains and stuff, traffic, you never know what's gonna happen. So it's super convenient that they arrange transportation to and from.
Now the next 15 minutes, 1-5, there are a little bit of turns. Someone is feeling sick, just let us know. We have some vaccine special offer today. Well, they are for free.
Okay, they had us stop here about 15 minutes up the mountain. I think they're giving us some breaks to order some coffee, get a little lunch, make sure everyone's fed, because going up this mountain, it's windy, and we're going a road that we didn't go last time, through the town of Vilaflor. We don't really take tours that often, but these tour guides are super talented. They have to speak 3 different languages and deliver the jokes perfectly every single time and wait for the laugh and everything.
Next up, Teide.
Welcome to the National Park Teide. It's one of the most visited national parks in Europe. You can see our father Teide with 3,750 meters high, the highest point in Spain.
I am pumped. I think we're the first people of the entire day.
Buen día.
Hello, dear.
The air is so crisp up here, it kind of feels a little thinner, and I feel like my heart is kind of pumping a little bit more just to regularly walk and talk. But I'm so excited.
This is so exciting.
Lucky the cable car is open, many days it's closed, but today it's open. There are people who come to Tenerife 3, 4, 5 times and it's closed and it's closed. You should feel lucky because it's open today. We are gonna do it slowly, okay? The most important thing is that you enjoy.
This is not for the weak. Everyone here is really brave because this is really steep.
All these walls that you see down there, this canyon, 18 kilometers wide canyon, these are the remaining walls of the old Teide. You can imagine how big the old Teide was before it collapsed.
The air is definitely thinner up here, huffing and puffing, but taking our time, enjoying the views. Beautiful day. I have to remember to breathe because it's like higher elevation than I've ever hiked at. You can definitely feel the thinness in the air and catch my breath. It's like a different feeling in your brain where you can't really think because you're mostly thinking about breathing.
Such a cool hike. I can't believe we're up here. Oh my gosh. Going with a guide and a tour group, we're going a lot slower than Matt's pace, which is great for me because Matt goes really fast.
This is truly an epic experience. I'm really glad we chose to do this. Glad we were able to get a guide in time. Definitely book your tickets well in advance if you're gonna come here.
We're about a third way up. It doesn't look like we walked far at all because the cable car is right there, but we are making a lot of space.
Progress.
Progress. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Honestly, the frequent breaks makes it so easy to just take a step, look out, and it's beautiful. My brain is a little woozy. My throat is really dry. Even after drinking water, it's still, it's a tough hike, guys.
It kind of seems like the farther we go, the higher we go, the less progress we're making, and everything just looks so much smaller on the ground. It's a burner for sure. Can't help but thinking that I'm ready for some pancakes.
I'm so gassed. Matt can probably run up this thing at this point because he's been going so slow. We're starting to smell the sulfur. It's not Matt farting, it's the mountain. But we're literally just right there. No snakes, yeah? Oh, that's hot. That is a volcanic heat right there. Wow, it's like a sauna.
That's a fumarole?
Yes.
Wow, the heat is crazy. That's the sulfur coming out and mixing with the air. It crystallizes, and that's what turns the rocks green. Our guide Benjamin said it is a beautiful, clear day, and not every day is like this up here, so we got really lucky with the weather.
This is so cool. The view is insane. We're starting to see that blanket we saw yesterday. There's just steam everywhere. It's insane because you're just reminded that this is an active volcano. Oh wow. The steam is just coming towards our face. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Can you believe
Highest
it?
point in Spain.
Highest point in Spain. Wow. This is amazing. And there's just steam just wafting into our face.
Smells like a big egg.
It really does. This is such an incredible feeling. Honestly, there is something to working really hard up a mountain. I know if Matt had his way, he would climb up the top without doing the cable car.
Absolutely stunning and incredible. I love it up here.
Yeah, this is really cool. Honestly, if I didn't have Matt in my life, I wouldn't do cool stuff like this. I would just opt out. So I really, even though I get mad at him at the time for making me do this, he doesn't make me do anything. I volunteer because he just gets me out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for organizing Spain. Because we know I wouldn't be able to do it.
Okay, so I get Matt to the places and then Matt organizes the big adventures.
I'm absolutely pumped to be up here. I never thought that I'd be at the highest peak in Spain, and this has me really excited for all the future bucket list adventures that we have planned. This is our guide Benjamin. He's been crushing it today. Tons of facts. Really helpful guy.
Nice day with great people.
What's your good stuff?
Benjamin climbs up this mountain 3 times a week. He is incredible.
Teide is home to a few different unique plants that only grow here, including the Violet de Teide. Supposedly it only grows over 11,000 feet, and this is one of the few places in the entire world where it grows.
It's not just the big things like climbing up a volcano that makes these experiences so special. It's the small things like seeing a rare violet that makes us so blessed to be able to do stuff like this. I'm gonna cry. Per usual, we took a very long time and we're the last ones down, so we're going straight to the cable car and back to the tour bus. Once you're back down at the cable car, they give you some time to get some coffee and a pastry. I got a chocolate bear claw, it looks like. Actually, it's not a bear claw. A bear claw would look like rare. And Matt didn't get anything because there wasn't anything gluten-free. I need more hydration in my life. We got what their local like Powerade or Gatorade is, which is Aqua Rius?
Aquarius! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
I'm an Aquarius! I mean, I was a little confused, I guess. Aquarius! Welcome to Vilaflor. If you guys remember, this is the town we went to for that break when we drove up the mountain on the tour. It is such a quaint little town. It's the highest town on Tenerife and the coldest because it's the highest in elevation. And we're gonna just walk around and see if we can find a place to eat because I am hungry and we really want to catch the sunset from El Teide. Thankfully, Fuente Hermanos Pedro is open and we're here right next to the garden.
Gracias. You know we had to order the agua con gas because it's truthfully probably our favorite thing.
While we wait, I figured I'd share my thoughts on the tour because I know that Matt and I have different expectations. Overall, I didn't like the transit times because we had to pick up a lot of passengers and people on the tour. It ended up taking 2 hours there and about 2 hours back. Even though it's a long wait to get to the actual mountain, that was the time where the tour guides explained all of the local things. They taught us so many things about the mountain, the local people, and the history of Tenerife. So I'm really glad that we got that educational experience that we wouldn't get from Google because apparently Google is wrong a lot of the time. What I did like about the tour was that if we had gone by ourselves, Matt would just zip up this mountain and I would get no breaks. So I actually really liked the pace that they were going. And again, on that hike, we got an educational tour too because he was showing us the flora and fauna and it was just a great experience. We had a great guide. Benjamin, you are the best.
I think if we had more time and more preparation, I would have definitely liked to have tried to climb the entire thing. From what I read, it seems like it's a good challenge, and I've never hiked that elevation, so that's just a future challenge for me to hike that kind of hike.
You will.
I know I will.
You will.
The mojo sauces are the traditional Canary Island sauces, and they're usually served over potatoes, which it translates to wrinkled potatoes. And Meghan got the ropa vieja, which truthfully I wanted, but it's gluten, so I'm having to adjust to not eating gluten, but it is what it is. And I've got the costillas con papas. It's a stewed rib meat with potatoes. This is another Canary Island specialty. I wanted to do all the things we possibly can to experience what the Canary Island food scene's all about. Because it's easy when you're on a vacation to somewhere like Tenerife, which is referred to as a lad's holiday by some of our friends from the UK. And we just wanted to kind of break out of that and not just do the touristy things. We want to come to these restaurants and try as local food as possible. Oh my god, look at how that just spreads apart. Really would love. I know you would love this. That is so tender. Amazing flavor. It might not look like much, but I promise you it is delicious.
Truthfully, this is delicious, but I am like eyeing Matt's rib meat. Like, I want that.
This is exactly what I was looking for. We wanted that feeling of a home-cooked meal, and this place absolutely delivered. I don't know if it's the time of day or anything, but it's super quiet here. This is the first place that we've been in Tenerife where it's just silence. Alright, that was an absolute delicious dinner, and now we are off to race against time to see if we can beat sunset at Teide National Park.
You better run!
This sky is amazing.
This is really cool to witness. It is just all around colors just shifting. Wow. This mountain is actually one of the top places in the world to stargaze and study constellations. It's an astronomer's dream to come out here. It is so cool.
So my experience with astronomy is very novice, and I'm a pretty new astrophotographer. I really enjoy it. It's a fun challenge to kind of like set up a shot in the middle of the night, play with the settings, and see how you can get the stars to come out. So now I'm setting up a time lapse. I want to see if I can get to see where the sun goes completely down and then the stars pop out. We can already see our first star over there. It's southern, so I don't know what star it is because I don't know a whole lot about stars. It is 9:13 right now.
You can sit with your butt here, and then I'll put my butt there. I'm exhausted, but like pumped. I'm like, it's like one of those like pumped, exhausted. Like you're too pumped, and then you're too exhausted, so you just stay up forever.
Just like we thought, the minute that the sun is going down, the stars are popping up. It started with 1, and then it was 2. And now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Already lost count.
I don't hear any birds or insects or anything. I literally cannot hear anything. I really don't have to whisper. We really don't have to whisper, but we are anyways, because it just feels natural. It feels right because it's so quiet. This island just has so much to offer. The Scenic Drive is just like an experience in itself. Climbing to the top, like the view is so unmatched. And tonight, doing astrophotography out and seeing the stars and the constellations just this bright is just, it's a magical place. I definitely know we're gonna come back here. Probably sometime soon.
I think one thing that I take for granted on a regular basis is just seeing how big the sky is. It really puts into perspective how small we are and how big the freaking Earth is and how big the universe is. It's really kind of a humbling moment to really have that perspective. And I don't think I kind of think of that anytime other than when I'm out here doing this kind of thing.